Don't adjust your channel. I don't have any lights on. I thought this might be a better way to go considering the smoke in the air and how much the camera is picking up on those colors and making me look orange. And yeah, we'll see how this works out. If it doesn't look so good, I'll do it again, but just something a little bit different. So I promised that I would be playing around some more with the Natasha Denona palette Glam, which is stunning. And I am. And I definitely wanted to mix it with something else. Like I like the love together with the bronze. I think pink and bronze so beautiful together. And I thought the Lila palette might be a good option for us. I think this is the palette that made me fall in love with Natasha Denona. So I never bought the really big ones, and I still haven't. But this and this and this and this and this, the mattes in here are so creamy and delicious. The rest of the color is hard for me to wear. I can admire their beauty, but you know me. If you don't know me, palettes like this kind of overwhelm me. But these mattes are stunning. And oddly enough, I don't really pull for this very often, and I think it would be a great time to do it. So here they are together. And I think that you can kind of get a different look out of the Glam palette using some of these mattes here. Whoops, some of these mattes here, or the mattes up here. I believe that the color that you use for your transition it sets the palette. It's like, what is it like? It's like the placemat for your eye, right? Your placemat kind of sets the tone. What's the color theme of your table setting, right? For me, that's what the transition shade is. So I think we can do a warm one and a cool one. Would that be crazy if I did two different looks at one time? I know Alicia of Kinky Sweat does it a lot. So let's do that. This is called Nude Mauve. I don't know why, because it looks kind of warm to me in the pan, but let's do it. And because this looks like it might be a little dark, I'm starting with a light hand. And oh, look at that. Actually, there is a teeny bit of purple in here. Huh. Okay. I personally don't have two of every single brush, so I'm going to take the Parisian Spirit and spray on my, I don't know what's wrong with this sprayer. There we go. Spray it on this paper towel and do a little wipey wipe in between dipping into other colors when I do have to use the same brush. Voila! Make sure the bristles are dry, so I'm just going to hold it up here for the fan. Now I'm going in with Per Se. They're so lovely, but do knock off. And again, start with a light hand because I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I've used these. I did see, you know what, I did see Andrea Ali use this shade. She had this like lavender lilac-y gray eye. I thought, what a pretty color, you know, when I saw her screenshot or her thumbnail, and it was this shade. So it's this shade, how can I say it? I find that Natasha Denona shades, especially in this palette, because it's the one I first discovered, these shades, you look at them and go, okay, it is this, it is that, it is the other thing. And then when you put it on, there's so much more depth of color. It's as if instead of making a gray, you're taking a black and adding a lot of white, and boom, you have gray. She puts in a little bit of lilac, a little bit of lavender, a little bit of blue, a little bit of, I don't know, red. Her colors feel like they have a more fullness to them, that they have a lot going on. There's a lot of depth and richness to them. So this is the cooler one, this is the warmer one, and now we have our placemats. I'm going into this color. This is the top row, and I think this is called Transition. It's kind of a stonish gray, but when you put it on the eye, it doesn't look quite this light, and I think it might work well on the inner third right here. Oh, got a little bit of the lid too. let's try this one. It might be not quite light enough to show difference between the first shade, but we'll see. I'm going to do kind of the same thing. Aha. Yeah, it's not. This is showing up much darker. All right. So I'm going to actually kind of use this creasy area because it's showing up a little darker. I'm going to take it a little bit up here too to kind of give the eye the illusion of being deep set as opposed to being hooded as all get out. It doesn't take a lot of color, so I'm just going to wipe this off and blend. It's interesting how I thought that was going to be much lighter. No complaints, no complaints. This is called Center Eye. It's the third row, the first and the third row. Kind of a, in this light, it looks like a bit of a bronzed gold. And let's just see. I mean, it's super reflective. I think I wanted something a little more antique-y looking, but this was my choice. The only thing I had available to me. Helio in the Lila palette. Now, she calls it Lila, by the way. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I have not planned this. This is me. Now you can get to experience firsthand me being that person who's like, I don't know what to do here. And it's weird for me to do shine out on the outer lid, but I really don't like it when it gets on my hood. So I'm just going to blend a little bit here. And I'm going to mix Amara with Dragon Bite. And this is going to be around the lash line. I'm going to take a little of that same color, just the smallest bit under here. I can always clean this up. But it could be that gold, I put on so much of that gold that it's hard to get anything dark on top of it. There we go. I know it looks messy. We'll fix it up. Woof. It's really messy. Outer eyelid, which is the top row, for this side. I'm just going to do that in the center. I like that so much, I'm going to take it with my finger too. I guess I'll pull it out and put it in the outer eyelid. I don't know, between the fan and my light, which also makes noise if you can hear this, but my sweet little baby is gently snoring on the floor. She can snore really loud too. She can snore like Fred Flintstone. It's the first time I heard that, I'm like, what? How is that noise coming out of you? I think I'll just pull this up a little bit. Okay, let's do a little bit more with this Lila palette and just kind of do something different for me, which is a color that's a little more colorful. Maybe that? That's so pretty. It practically blends itself. I'm going to mix this one. Yeah, no, I'm not going to mix this one. And remember, we're going to clean this up. And then I'm going to take this one, what they think is called Livid. Okay, now I'm going to get a Q-tip and clean some stuff up, do my under eyes, do my brows, and I might do another blend. I'll be back in a minute. So I am going to turn on the lights so you can get a different kind of perspective of the light situation. But eyes closed, eyes open. I have to say, after I did my brows and blended underneath, I kind of felt like I like the under eyes without concealer, but I felt, I mean, everybody does under eye concealer, but it gives it, without the under eye concealer, a look like this gives it, I think, a much more earthy, edgy kind of a look. But I did the concealer anyway, but I think you can go either way. So we have this eye, which is more warm, and mix the warms and the cools, and this eye, which is more cool. And I think it's fun. By the way, I am wearing Brave. I think I like this. It's kind of, it's a warm color that seems like it might be suitable in fall. I don't know. When I first put it on, I'm like, going back, and then I tried it on with a liner, and then I thought, I don't know, this might be okay. I certainly don't have anything like it. So yeah, this is the love story between Lila and Glam. I mean, even their palettes look good together, right? All right, you guys, that was an unusual one, I think. Oh, let me show you the light with the door open and the lights on. You'll get another idea of what it's looking like. So here we have the door open. There's no other lights. And while I feel like I look like a painting, I do love the shadows with this. I also feel like I look super orange in the camera. I don't know, hard to tell. On my LED, it looks kind of normal, but it's super, super small. And on my computer, it looks very, very orange. So now I'm going to add the other lights that I usually put on. And you'll get a variety of lights to tell what these colors look like together. Eyes open, eyes closed. Be right back. And this would be how I normally would shoot, with the door open and the lights on, but it's just looking super, super orange because of the sky. Eyes closed, eyes open. And there we have it. A marriage, I think, made in heaven. I don't know. There's much, much more you can do by combining these two, for sure. And I also think the Safari palette, like the first row of the Safari palette, would go really well with the Glam palette as well. I said well a whole bunch in that sentence. I hope you're well. All right, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful to you. I hope it might have been a little bit of fun, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.